World Building 2. Welcome to the King Moolah TV podcast. Alrighty then. Welcome. Hey. Alright, y'all. Welcome to the King Moolah TV podcast. My name is King. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you even taking the time out your day to even listen to what I got to say. This has been it's been a pretty eventful 2025 already. By the time this comes out, it's probably going to be in March. No, it is going to be in March. But a lot going on with that. A lot in the state of the world right now, but I don't really want to get so into the news to where, I'm not, I get to see the notifications of like news articles and things I might check out here and there, but I'm not so ingrained in it because I already knew what was happening. Project 2025, y'all go ahead and look that up if y'all want to. Just whatever the key highlights. Because it is like, 600 or 900 pages long. And they did that on purpose. But there's a lot of stuff that you got to be watching out for that is happening because of that. And, they've been saying it forever, what they were going to do. Or Trump's been saying it forever, whatever he's going to do. And a lot of stuff like the ridiculous thing, like him doing a gold card for green, for immigrants. A gold card that the starting cost is like $5 million. With green card benefits is absolutely ridiculous. Like, in what world? In what world do you think that's going to happen? In what world? But, just to get into the topic, in what world, just to segue into it, this is World Building Part 2. Okay, this is World Building. This is the continuation from whatever I had last time. I kind of skimmed through what I said last time. Before I even started this, but so I'm still gonna be looking through it just to see what I really said and then adding on to it. But before I even do that, let me get the word of the day for y'all, and then we're gonna hop right into it. Oh no, come on, it can't be ignoramus. Apparently it's ignoramus. Okay, so ignoramus is an ignorant or stupid person. That's obvious to me because I already knew what ignoramus meant. But, that's the word of the day from Merriam-Webster. Man, ignoramus? Did it really have to start like that? Maybe I should do another one. Because that's their word of the day. Let me do a word that I'm not sure people really know about. What word could that be? Maybe I'll just go to a different... Go to dictionary.com. Let's see what they got. Okay. Oh. Do they have one? Yeah, they do. Decorticate. See if I said it right. Decorticate. Very interesting. And it means to remove the bark, husk, or outer covering. Okay, can I get an example? They give me the origin too. Okay, first recorded in 1605, 1615. Meaning bark, shell, outer covering, straight to the point. Didn't change over time. Examples of decorticate. The botany students learned how to decorticate a tree without damaging layers below the bark. The farmer bought a machine that quickly decorticates cottonseed. Pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, you with the explanation of the definitions, you could already tell it was already outside. So, yeah, decordicate. I like that better than ignoramus. Like, no, ain't nothing ignorant about this topic or anything. So usually, the things that with the word of the day, they kind of line up with what I'm saying. Or if they don't line up, it's just not ignoramus. It's not flat out calling people ignoramus. Like, I've never seen that, but wow. Okay, Merriam-Webster, that's you. But this dictionary.com, y'all got decordicate. I like that. Decordicate. All right, so to start off, what I started with, or not what I started with, but what did I have? My key points of the last one was about the basic necessities. My thing is with the basic necessities being not being essential in this world, not it showing up. Of course, it's essential in this world, but it's not being portrayed and not being upheld. It's not actually being put into action. Because a lot of the time it's just about greed and control and capitalism and all that other stuff. But in the world that I was building, especially the basic necessities, okay, the basic necessities of life were definitely taken care of. They are not taken away. They are a human right. They are a human right. And you know, in this world, it is not upheld. It is not, it's not respected. It's not respected at all. So in the world I'm building, it is respected. Everybody needs a place to stay. They need food. They need water. Technology and other things like that, the other bells and whistles, that's cool to make life easier. That's what it's for. That's the tool that it's supposed to be for. But there's a lot of hoarding, there's a lot of greed, there's a lot of capitalism under the name of capitalism and imperialism and colonialism that have brought out the absolute unsustainability of the world of which is today. So, yeah, so that's the biggest thing is a functioning society has to have a good economy. It's got to got good education. It's got to be centered around family. Okay, it's got to be centered around family. The government is actually supposed to help. That's what I addressed the last time. Politics, it goes into government, and that's actually supposed to be good. Politics is supposed to be good. Healthcare, healthcare, culture, law, and faith. All right, those are the pillars. Those are the typical pillars. The main pillars are economy, education, family, government, politics, healthcare, culture, law, and faith. Just to expand on many of that, the healthcare industry needs help, okay? The healthcare industry shouldn't even be a profit-based thing, but it is. It is in this world, and a lot of premiums and co-payments and all that stuff. It would be okay in the world that I'm building, but honestly, without that, I can just put a new system in place to where it's not that. Okay, there can be a system in place where it's not based on getting patients sick and keeping them sick instead of actually getting rid or solving the problem. Solving it. We got to solve the problems. That's it. Okay? So we're solving the problems, the key institutions. Okay, for stability and well-being of a community. All of that has to be working effectively, and it is all because of group economics and group sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is cool for an individual, but when it comes to something that's just personal, like the utmost personal things, taking care of yourself and your body and stuff like that. But outside of that, trying to navigate a world all alone, that self-sufficiency quickly becomes a burden. And you really do need help to navigate this world. It's not just you alone fighting the world, because it really is tough out there without help. And without help, without a community, it really gets tough. Okay? So that is a big thing. Community is a huge thing in this world. In the world that I'm building, it's huge. Community is beautiful. It is lovely. It is protected. It's not a luxury. It's a right. It's a mindset. And I think I left off the population. I'm gonna go to the population size. Let me see. I started with like 10,000, right? Yeah, I'm looking at the earlier episodes. It says I started with 10,000. All over the world. Now, it's not 10,000 each region of the world. It's like spread across. And then, but it's not that bad, is it? Did I say anything higher than that? No, I said I started with 10,000 and then I think I finished off at like 100 million. I think so. 10 million, because I brought it into the 20th century or the 1900s. And let's see. Oh, and then I'm pretty sure I ended with 100 million. Yeah, so I ended with 100 million across the world. So that's still a lot of people. That's only a third of the United States. Well, it's a bit less than a third because the United States like 330 to like 350, I think. I haven't checked the actual thing. Actually, I can check it right now. Let me see the population. Okay, we got 8 billion people right now. But the world population, let me see. Can I go to USA? The USA's, okay, it's close. If you round it up, it's about 350. But if you keep it, it's 346 mil. So 346 mil and 100 million. That's 28%. So not even a third. Not even a third of the population. That's 28% of the US population, 100 million. I left it off there. And I left it off with the type of houses. Let's see. Before I really get more into it, I did talk about the type of vehicles that we be driving a little bit. Renewable resource like hydrogen, water, machine, or even air. I'm gonna add that, air. Not petroleum and oil, that can still be around, like I said, but it's not going to be a big problem. See, the thing is, plastic is really a great product. And I addressed that. If you can go to my episode earlier talking about plastic is a great product, it really is. But in this world, we'll have plastic. That's fine. As long as it's being recycled and used properly. It's not going to go to no landfills. It's not going to end up in the ocean or be the great garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean. None of that. None of that is happening. We recycle, we reuse it. And when we have a huge amount of plastic already, let's say if I was to stop production here in this world, and all the plastic is stopped, they're not making any new ones anymore. We're just recycling and reducing and reusing the 3 R's for recycling, and we're just putting it back over. And we still got a lot. We got a lot. And if I was to bring all that to the new world, we could reuse that forever, literally forever. Because it's just until it breaks down, which would be like, well, what do they say? Plastic, microplastics and nanoplastics and all that stuff. That doesn't truly break down for like millions and millions of years. Let me just look that up really quick. How long does it take for plastic to break down? Can vary from a few decades to hundreds of years. I thought it was millions. Interesting. Let me see. Oh, it takes about 20 to 500 years. Where did I get millions from? Okay, so plastic bags, about 10 to 20 years. Plastic bottles, 450 years. So four centuries. So centuries. It takes centuries. Plastic straws, 200 years. 6-pack plastic rings, 400 years. Disposable diapers, 500 years. Disposable diapers, 500 years? I thought they were biodegradable already. Must be coffee pods, 500 years. Plastic toothbrushes, 500 years. Fishing line, up to 600 years. Wow. Different types of plastic have different qualities and breakdown. Okay. Let me ask it again. Does it take plastic millions of years to break down? An estimated 10 to 40 metric tons of these particles are released into the environment every year, and if current trends continue, this number can double by 2040. Most come from larger plastics that break down over time, while some are added directly to the products we use, such as paint, cleansers, and toothbrushes. Microplastic. How long does it take plastic to decompose? That's what I mean. Decomposure or decomposition. I'm using a whole different browser. I don't use Google or nothing right now. I'm using a whole different browser. So everything is not like where I'm used to it being. I like this browser though. It's a nice one. Ecosia. DuckDuckGo, at least they have a thing, but this one is... Oh, okay, it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, they might need to change that because it's all the way at the bottom. Okay. So I need the straightforward answer. This is how long everyday plastic lasts in the ocean, so it could take up to 500 years. I don't know where I got millions of years from. Wait. Glass left to break down can take 1 million years. Common materials to... See what I'm saying? I knew I seen something that said it. I've been reading it, recycle things a long time. It feels like now I know I'm not crazy. I know this information is not like... Okay, here it is common to hear that some items will take hundreds of or thousands of years to break down. However, this isn't based on historical records. We haven't had these materials long enough. So how exactly is... This is not biodegradable. I'm talking about everything else. Okay, so these are just it sounds like they... Well, it makes sense that they said that it'd be hard to tell because nobody's lived that long or nobody's recorded it for that long in human history, because all of this came pretty new. A lot of the modern things that we use haven't been here for over maybe a century or two. I'm just saying, I'll look that up afterwards, but dang it, bro. I'm so interested in it, but I got to get back to what I'm saying. Okay, let me just look it up. So, glass bottles apparently they said it takes 1 million years. So, but let me go to like the regular plastic. Let's go to plastic bottles. 500 years. Anything else in the millions, thousands? Okay, apparently everything else is either in months, decades, below a century, or centuries. Like one thing that says 2,000 years, there are millenniums like car tires. That's the estimated time. I'm gonna just go with these are estimated times because nobody's really been, a lot of these inventions are new. Like a lot of this stuff wasn't invented until like our only two, most modern inventions weren't even here for barely 2 centuries. Barely 2 centuries. Actually barely 1 century, I should say. Barely 1 century, because of the Industrial Revolution and where a lot of that stuff started to come through. And let's just say the 1900s, 20th century, most of this stuff was invented. So we really don't know. So I'll just put it at that. I'll just leave it at that. Let me get back to the topic. All right, so I was talking about hybrid housing, where there's houses to implement parts of nature inside them, eco-friendly houses, and I actually did reports and started looking about it. People can own farmlands, agricultural regions, but it's not going to be for no selfishness or greed, nothing like looking to control the food supply or anything like that. There's going to be a lot more wilderness in this world, of course, because we have to be able to live close enough to each other, okay? and live where, because there's going to be nature all around us. Okay, if we're gonna have cars, they're not gonna be petroleum-based cars. Most of them will not be. There's only gonna be a small market for that, and then that market will phase out, and it won't be a thing anymore. If I'm bringing some of the stuff from here to there, it won't be a big thing. A lot of things will be pedestrian-friendly, pedestrian walking spaces. Just like they're doing a lot in Europe, they're getting rid of more cars for more pedestrian-friendly places, but that's just certain areas, I'm sure. Still, a lot of cars are being imported from Europe and, well, all over the world, but from Europe and Asia mainly. So a lot of foreign cars make their way to the U.S. Or they're manufactured here. I forgot, they're also manufactured here as well. The headquarters are over there, but they're manufactured here as well. It would make more sense. Technology, we got phones and stuff like that. We can still have all this current stuff that we have now, but it's not like the internet and stuff like that, but it's not bad. When it comes to like mental health and stuff like that, this technology, I don't want to say that I want it to be, kind of like a parental control setting to where, but we do limit. I think it is better to limit our time in it. I'll give people the free reign to choose. However, you can choose to be on your device all you want. However, a lot of shows and stuff like that, I feel like if we're going to do TV and media and entertainment, a lot of that stuff is going to have a cutoff time because there needs to be a break. It cannot be 24/7 here. So I'm going to change that up. There is no 24/7 cable streaming. Well, as far as cable TV goes, there's no 24/7 anything. There's going to be a block time where people need to go to bed. And that's honestly, I cut it off at like midnight all the way till like 8 o'clock. Well, no, you know what? I'll cut it off at 10 and put it all the way up to 6 o'clock. Because some people probably need to have like morning news for like traffic reports, weather reports, and all that. So I'll keep it there for that. But anytime between 10 and 6, there's no need. Okay, that's not to say that you can't get the information outside of cable TV. Of course you can. You got the phones. You can look on your weather app what time it's gonna be. It's gonna be accurate, and things of that nature. So you'll be able to get your news. You'll be able to get if the traffic is bad or good or whatever at whatever time. It's just that time specifically for cable TV or live TV is gonna be cut off. So yeah, just leave it like that. What else? Oh yeah, the rules of ethics of online and offline. The prison population would be really, really low. I won't even call it a prison. It's a rehabilitation centers. Rehabilitation centers will be a big, big thing about learning how to navigate this world because people really need to be rehabilitated and not used for slave labor, not used for prison, free labor or cheap labor, none of that stuff. None of that's going to be a thing. Okay? We're not going to have that. This is going to be humanitarian efforts, humanitarian relief, and actually helping the population get better. Not throwing the people away who've done wrong or who've done bad things. Everybody in the world has done bad things, okay? And being good and bad is subjective, okay? When it comes to bad things like stealing candy because you're hungry, well, not stealing candy, stealing food because you're hungry and stuff like that. In this current world, that's not gonna be a thing in the other world. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of nature, there's gonna be systems in place to where people will not go hungry. There will not be no homelessness. There will not be starving kids or starving adults or anybody because there will be food available. Like they do with food pantries. and stuff like that, people are actually getting the food, the right food, the nutritious and organic food that in order to eat and save and do what we need to do and keep our bodies healthy, that's what's going to be in my world. That's how you keep a world sustainable. Like I said, there was going to be fast food, but that's going to phase out too. All the oil, everything that's here that's bad, that's ruining the world, all of that's going to phase out in my world. It might have been there for like a small period when we're creating a lot of new things like innovative and stuff like that, but it's all going to be phased out. All of it is going to be phased out. And then it's just not going to be a thing anymore. But I give space to that so that we know what not to be eating and we know the reason why. Because a lot of people, they don't really understand what they're eating or why they're eating it. They're just doing it. Okay? It's like they're doing it on autopilot. It's like they're NPCs. Okay? So I think it's very important to have that there just to show you this is the reason why. And it's going to be phased out. You know, rogue and crime and stuff like that will not be bad. There will be... there still will be disagreements. There still will be, discussions of everybody there still will be different expressions and different cultures and different ways to express oneself and to express themselves culturally as a group, because there's different cultures around the world, in my world as well, that's going to be, have their set of rules, but they do not, supersede the world rules that I created in the last episode. Like I said, treat your neighbor with respect. There might be rogue people around, but it's not really a huge problem. But the problem gets solved really quickly because it's not a huge problem. That's what I meant. Yeah. Not major problems of hate or bigotry, and power and control and manipulation, no deception, and all those terrible things that this world sees so commonly. Like I said, people are in their roles. They are doing their duties as men, as women, as girls, as boys, children, maybe animals as well. Everybody has their roles to play. And then I did say there were going to be rogue people who don't follow the existing rules of the world, but you see how they're treated. They could be jailed, just to use that word without to let you know what I'm doing. But rehabilitation and where did they go wrong? Actually looking at their life story and seeing, is there any way that we can do, looking at the solutions to be able to allow them to come back in the world as a better person, as better people. There's that. Given the intelligence of these things, the world is peaceful for the most part, like I said. We're creating, we're doing better, we're exploring the world around us, and it's actually, and we're feeding our talents like entertainment. And I'm gonna go to that entertainment for a while. If singers, dancers, poets, all of that stuff means something. And it's not to where you look at them and then they're the most important thing in your life. That's dead. Like celebrities aren't really even a thing. They can be known. I don't know if they can still be called celebrities, but they're not. Nobody's really wrapping their life. For the most part, nobody's wrapping their life around celebrities. Okay, celebrities get there, are able to live like everybody else. They're not put on a pedestal. They're not given more access to things than anybody else because that's not a thing. Everybody has a house, so there's nothing to compete against when it comes to that. So everybody has a sustainable way to live. Even the rogue people, but the rogue people went wrong somewhere, so they can still have their place to live. It's probably just not going to be as livable or as sustainable as everybody else who's actually following the rules, who are actually trying to make the world a better place. Everybody has a place to say, everybody can build their own house or the way that they want their house to be built. Y'all can do that too. But for the most part, I would require people to have some sort of hybrid house. If you don't want a hybrid house, that's perfectly fine. But it's not going to be the majority. The standard is going to be either a hybrid house, a fully natured house like a log, maybe a log cabin, or houses that we call off the grid, but they won't be off the grid because they can be inside the house, and then we'll be using renewable energy anyway. So there's no point to call it off the grid in the world that I'm building. So all of that coexists. All of that. There's different levels to whatever that we did. Anybody could design their own house. That's what I really mean. Anybody could design their own house the way that they want it to be. Polka dots, stripes, whatever the case is. Just go nuts with that. But there will be a requirement to have, a piece of nature in there. So, to understand that it's not so closed in. Not so closed-minded with the old world, the world that we're in. Technology. As far as, I went up to 9 billion people by the year 3000. So we was in the year 2000 with all the stuff that I just explained, and then I jumped 1,000 years, and it went up to 9 billion people. That is insane. But I mean, I think with that, a lot of trees will be planted. Nature will still be nature. I won't really change that for this world. People still have to navigate and be wary and cautious of other animals. And a lot of animals are not going extinct, or they're not endangered or anything like that. There won't be any endangered animals. People will respect nature as it is, or, face the consequence. But in the year 3000, flying machines, flying vehicles, or anything that you name it, jetpacks, hoverboards, real hoverboards, not segways with wheels. And there's laws around that so that people can not get into accidents or collisions or anything like that, even when emotions run high. Improving whatever human error that we set forth in between that, because human errors is going to happen. Even when I'm describing the world, it's still going to happen. So it's not an issue. It's just something we have to get past. We got to go through. We got to get the obstacles. We got to just get through it and, become better. I was talking about movie theaters, 8K, year 3000 is probably like 32K, 64K, 128K. My goodness. Oh, that virtual reality thing would be it'll be its own digital world. The own digital world would be the virtual reality where cyber cities, what we're doing now with I think Meta and stuff like that, they're doing it as well. But cyber cities, you could build your own little space there as well. And, just however you want to envision that, just go ahead and envision it. But I did say, I really did say something, a sustainable world has to be controlled, but not in the way that not manipulated into something unsustainable, but controlled to where people aren't actually overdoing it, overusing resources, overproducing resources, or doing it by ineffective or illegal means. Of what I mean by illegal, by using pesticides, herbicides, all those things that are killing, that are not allowing the insects and stuff to be on it. I understand it, but there are ethical ways to handle that, and the herbicides and herbicides are overkill every single time. And so that's what it was. I think it's what else can I add? It's pretty much a big thing. I don't know if I'll ever revisit this, but I like how it's going. The key points is that Oh, and faith. Believe what you want to believe, but people will have respect for other people's belief and are not trying to overarch. There's no unsolicited advice or anything like that, trying to get people to convert to whatever that you believe in. Okay, everybody has their own different cultures and ways of doing things, and none of that supersedes the natural world of the law with respect your neighbor, no killing, no harming one another, just because, now self-defense is a thing, so I'll point that out. There's no wars going on or anything that's used as a mean of the way that this world works. There's none of that. It's not a prison planet. It is a planet that's bountiful and beautiful the way the earth should be. Okay? So with that being said, this is the end of season 2. It's the end of season 2. I'm so glad this is the 60th episode. It's the end of season 2. It's a lot that went in. Pretty much after it's the end of an era, the new year is upon us, and I mean the real new year in the springtime. So when this drops, this will be good, and I start with the New Year's with season 3. And I got some ideas cooking already with that. And the way that I've done it, it might just change a little bit, but it'll be a lot better, a lot more. I feel like it'll be a lot better, a lot more entertaining, but also insightful as well. I'm always going to keep that as a thing. But yeah, so thank you all guys for listening. If you even listened to all 60 of my episodes, I know some of y'all may have not. That's all right. I can see it. It doesn't hurt my feelings or anything, but I just appreciate you just taking the time to listen again. So everybody could drink their water, get your hydration levels up. I finally got to see the sun. It's been kind of rainy for a day. So if you don't have sun still, because it's probably still snowing and stuff like that, stock up on them vitamin D supplements, dietary supplements, and your nutrition, all the other nutritions as well. Be kind to people. It takes literally $0 to be kind to people. Practice that. I practice that every day with people on the road. Even the people on the road, they was kind of acting up just a little bit today, just a little bit. But I'm cool. I'm cool. I didn't let it bother me because it was just only for a small moment. You don't let that small moment get to you. So it's good. With that being said, I'm King. It's a King Moolah TV podcast, y'all. I'm out of here. End it.